Got the returning soon screen on. Everything muted. Welcome back, everyone, to the AG Weekly February qualifiers. HX9 here. Now we've switched our peoples today. We got Chip in the background here, taking control of the camera. We got Pulsable and Beatdown. Going to bring you live right into Route 66 here any moment because the teams are ready to play. Weird Squad versus Synergy Esports in this one. So, guys, what do you know about these teams? I mean, talk about it.
I know Weird Squad just lucked out a bit, but I'm gonna keep the salt off the stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might wanna.
I'm gonna keep it up. No,
choose a different flavor.
No, they have a really strong goats, and this is Route 66, right? So goats is very popular here.
Yeah, true. But I mean, quad DPS is also becoming increasingly popular here and on a lot of other maps. Kind of interested to see how it's going to be played here. Weird Squad comfortable on the Ghost comp. Good chance they might just stick to it here. Actually, they're the ones on the defense, so it looks like they're running the OG. No, this is the Slambulance. I'm mistaken.
Oh, well, I mean, that's certainly an interesting strategy right now. We do have a bit of an issue with our producer at the moment. Hopefully he will be getting in here soon enough so we don't miss too much of the match.
That's fine.
But
Things are
I'm
just
gonna try and narrate this out. Okay, thank God we're pausing. I was sweating a bit on that one.
Hey, we should ignore the quad DPS we're seeing here. Energy. It's a thing. It's real.
I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised by quad DPS. I think that's more reasonable than quad tank when it comes to defense here, which is what Weird are running.
Well, quad tank's actually I don't want to say common. It's a pretty common defense here on. I'm gonna say common. It's a pretty common defense here on Route 66. Yeah, I see it a lot.
I have yet to see it on this map.
Really? And you claim to watch every region of contenders. Didn't know about Stormquake starting quad DPS. Didn't know about Hess.
Yes, that one
didn't
I
know. No.
I just got quad tank.
You argued with me about that one. I just want to bring that up. And either way, we're back here. Oh, I'll find the clips.
I challenge you to. I absolutely challenge you to.
Okay.
I challenge us to invite Chip to the live.
I don't have him added, so don't look at me.
I'm doing that right now.
There we go. Well, meanwhile, I'm just going to try and keep you guys updated on what's happening in map. Weird have lost their main support player, and now they've lost half their team. So quad tank didn't quite work out that well for them on this first hold.
No, it really didn't. I think it was more common in the meta where it was really like all you really ran was goats. So the idea was that you would just, try to out-sustain them, get some picks off with the Roadhog. Either way, it doesn't really work against such a DPS-heavy comp where there's too many... too many squishy and mobile targets to deal with. So now, instead, Synergy are looking great. They've built up some really good ultimates here. Synergy now has the EMP Rocket Barrage. They're committing the Valkyrie as we speak.
This is a fight they have every right to win, especially as the EMP catches onto 6. Dragon out. Doesn't quite manage to find anything, but it really doesn't need to. Both frontline tanks are down. It's just Gao in the tank, and it doesn't even look like Weird are going to go for this contest.
And Synergy overcommitting, maybe a smidge getting overzealous there, but still, they ended up getting the point capture anyway. And since the Weird Squad did have to make some swaps to their composition, they aren't falling too behind in Ultcharge anyway. Heike is about to get another Rocket Barrage. Pancake gets a huge pick on the Hamza.
Yeah, it's a lot of sustainability gone, and right now it's just Faded getting pounded. He goes down next, and Weird, right now, they're looking like they're struggling to understand how to play against this quad DPS. They're staying out in the open. They're not rotating very effectively, and right now they just gotta back up.
Yeah, they're struggling right now dealing with impacts. He really isn't taking very much damage on this Wrecking Ball. Is free to disrupt as he likes and is making so much room for the DPS on Synergy. The cart is just going through here with absolutely not a care in the world. And still, Heike on the side of Synergy gets another ultimate here, but grabs out.
Oh, grabs out on the cart. T-Man does go down. The barrage overhead punishes Shrimp for the bomb, but Hockey gets punished right back. Heavy player advantage for Weird, and finally on this defense, it looks like they're going to get stabilized.
Yeah, Bigger Bang combo is a really good way to shut this down. There is no way for them to deal with this since there's, no Reinhardt, no static shield. Synergy Esports are going to hold for... the Weird Squad are going to hold for now. They still retain their sound barrier. And actually, in general, they're just going to retain a big ult advantage because Synergy are making the full swap here. Wholesale swaps to the GOATS composition. So now, it's really going to be about getting in the face of Synergy, who don't really have a static shield. So Impact can get a lot of value out of the ride. Oh!
Well, you saw him get into the face. He just pins Humza's face against the wall. Chip's mech goes down as well, and Faded is forced to pop the primal just to try and disrupt Synergy's offense here. But they've set themselves up on the cart very well. Faded in the front line, getting ever so low, has to reposition, and Weird just can't find a footing in this fight right now.
Getting that early pickoff on the Humza was so valuable. Getting rid of that Brigitte means Impact was free to do much more swinging, and is already so close to the Earthshatter right now. And because it's such a quickly lost fight, Weird Squad really haven't built much up in this next one. But they have double support also. They still have a chance to sustain themselves as they build up the key ultimates to win this fight.
They do have the high ground advantage playing with the Winston as their main tank rather than the Reinhardt. But down on the low ground, Goose goes down, grab onto the wall, but there's no bomb to follow it up. Ship gets demeched. Didn't even have the bomb available. Because of that, Synergy, just keep it on rolling. They're going to cap point B.
Getting the kill onto Goose was so big because, yeah, the double support ult was online here for the Weird Squad, but getting the pickoffs and preventing them from actually using it was really denies all that value. You can't ult if you're dead. So now, Faded is going to swap onto this Reinhardt, and now...
I mean, I guess that's fair.
I mean, I thought it was. So Faded making the swap onto the Rein. This is now a Ghost v Ghost mirror, and it's just going to be about the shield war, getting the Rein in a better position there to build up the Earthshatter, where here we see the combos.
Yeah, the combo comes out, doesn't manage to catch anything, and now Impact is very deep. Doesn't manage to get the peel. Sound barrier comes out. Synergy, the later barrier is often the better, and because of that, they're going to put Weird on the back foot. Faded taking so much damage, and now the bubble is gone. No more peel for the Reinhardt. He's going to go down. Now, Synergy, they just have free reign over the rest of this fight, and they're going to clean this up. Payload's moving. Only about 30 meters to go here.
And breaking the shield from Faded and taking him down was a really key part in Synergy winning this fight. So now, like you said, short distance left to go. They have some ult in the bank. Impact is probably trying to make a huge impact with this Shatter. If he can, this point's as good as captured.
Oh, the Bash Shatter gets blocked by Gau's Zarya bubble onto Faded. Now the scrap is out on the side, but the bomb not at an optimal angle to catch it, but Faded catches a pin onto Pancake. 5v6 in favor of the defense of Weird right now. Impact looking to get that player advantage going the other way. Gonna pin a little too deep there. Gao on the high ground just lasers him in the back. And now, looks like Weird are finally gonna stabilize. 2 minutes on the clock.
The key play there was Faded flattening Pancake like a pancake with that pin, taking him out of the fight, suddenly giving Weird Squad the numbers advantage they needed. So now they've stabilized, dug their heels into the ground, and have some pretty good ults to work with here. On top of that, if they're able to shut down what is incoming here, like block the Earth Shatter from Faded, possibly eat the Graviton Surge from Gao, they could probably run the, sorry, not from Gao, from Heike and Impact, but it looks like it's gonna come out.
Yeah, it does, and the self-destruct gets leapt from the high ground, finds the heads, the bodies of Gao and Humzo, but it's a 4v4. Impact's down, and the team with the Reinhardt has such a heavy advantage, and Goat's Faded just swinging away. Nobody can touch him from Synergy, and because of that, they just have to back up.
That's twice Pancake gets taken down from the pin early on. Synergy had a potential opportunity to take this point here with the double kill from the bomb, but it doesn't work, so now they're down 2 ults, a minute left on the clock, and the Weird Squad actually have their grab going on here. If Synergy want to get through it here, they need to weather that storm.
Oh, there's the Shatter out from Impact, but no follow-up available. Now the grab bomb coming the other way. Doesn't manage to find anything. Gets blocked out, and Synergy are trying to re-engage with the sound barrier. So much damage onto Faded. He goes down mid-Shatter. Very unlucky there for the main tank of Weird. Transcendence gonna wear off out from Jaywalker, and now Weird have nothing left to sustain them out. They do find a kill onto Pancake, and a lot of Synergy aren't really focusing on the players on cart. Ship gets a nice stall, but it's gonna be difficult for only Faded and Goose to win this one out, especially if Faded gets caught in a grab. Gets pinned to the side, taking so much damage. He goes down next, and with the bomb overhead, it's just going to put a period on the end of the sentence. Just staggers onto the point here for Weird. Some Shatter is down. This is going to be Synergy taking third point in overtime.
And one thing I want to point out here from Synergy, I really like the punish game. You see members from the Weird Squad get caught in that small tunnel there from the side of the point, and immediately the bigger members of Synergy Esports, the tanks, go for the chase, end up taking down the remaining members. Sure, they weren't paying attention to the cart, but they were furthering the numbers advantage in their favor. So doing so pretty much guaranteed them the point, because now it forced Weird to stagger onto the point even more, because it's like, okay, now we really only have 1 or 2 people on the point at a time.
Yeah, and fun fact, if you have 1 or 2 people on the point, generally speaking, that's not as good as having 5 or 6 people on the point.
Thank you very much.
That's some fun, easy math there that for any Overwatch player.
That's right. So basically, numbers are everything. So that's what we're seeing here from Synergy. They're always playing it smart and only taking fights where they have the numbers advantage, or they know that they can get it by, like, they can focus down a target. Actually, yeah, just basically focus down a target.
Now, speaking of playing it smart, it's looking like Synergy going to go for a triple DPS defense here with that Orisa main tank. Now, what do you think of this in comparison to the quad DPS we more normally see here?
Well, if you're referring to the quad DPS defense, running the 2 healers here, it's interesting. Like, because the second, usually you'd run it with the Mercy, but D-Man is playing, instead of a DPS, he's playing the Zenyatta. So if timed correctly, if played correctly, Synergy can still take advantage of the Discord Orb and make up for the lack of DPS character. But we're seeing a quad DPS on attack here from the Weird Squad too. So it's really going to be about how well Faded can disrupt Synergy Esports, because having that constant shield uptime with Impact makes it a lot harder for Synergy to get disrupted.
Yeah, but they are going to have a lot of angles. Not really going to matter as their main tank goes down. They don't really have a way to push the cart. Weird's just going to back up for the moment. Synergy, they're all very much grouped up behind that Orisa shield, other than Haki, who's playing overhead, finds Gao on the retreat, and staggers this push out even further.
Now, Weird Squad are going to make the swap onto the dive, sort of dive composition here. They are off. Oh, nope, it's the dive goats comp here. The Winston goats. It does make sense here. The idea would probably be you'd either choose Impact or choose D-Man in the back. Since he's playing the Zenyatta, a very immobile person, that's the person Weird Squad want to be focusing on right now.
Yeah, Faded goes up onto the high ground. Wants to contest Impact a little bit here. Cat comes down on a Goose over on the side. He gets picked out. Pancake finds that one. Gives a quick player advantage over to Synergy Esports on the defense. Faded diving in very deep, but mech of Ship is going to go down next. Barrage overhead. No mech means no peel. And that's both tanks down as Synergy Esports go for the cleanup.
It seems Weird Squad right now are having a little bit of trouble grouping up there. You see Goose getting caught out in the back. When you play a comp like this, your Lucio needs to be with you anyway. He shouldn't be isolated as badly as we saw Goose did in the last round. And that stagger on the Gao isn't going to make this any better. So far, it seems like Synergy Esports are just handling these dives really well, in the fact that they're staying separated, but making use of all the range damage that they have. And now, in this next fight, they have the EMP. They even have Bob, provided he does something. So now the Weird Squad are in a tough position right here, where they really don't have much to deal with this EMP that we're about to see.
They don't have much to deal with Bob either. Not necessarily the best position. Is a little bit behind the sign there. It's managing to find damage nonetheless. Can't hide in big Earls when Bob's poking you out. No kills coming from that, but Weird does have a very low amount of health, and now Ship's mech is gone yet again. Haki nearly up to that barrage. There it is, over the top. Doesn't actually manage to find anything, and Jaywalker fires back onto him. Right now, it's a 4v4 on this cart. The res does come down under D-Man rather, but Pancake goes down on an odd EMP from Quarry. Not going to manage to find anything, and eventually, Weird are going to get this first point.
The Jaywalker popping off for the Weird Squad here. Akrawi kind of late on that EMP. I think the misplacement of the Bob from Pancake kind of made him second guess himself. It seems like the idea was to throw Bob onto the point, get the big EMP, and there was really no way they could answer, dealing with the Bob. But it doesn't really work for them. Bob's in a bad place. So, long story short, they do get snowballed and lose that fight. Now, Synergy are making the swaps here. They're going to swap to the Goats comp now, and actually we essentially have a Goats mirror as we see Faded make his way over to the Reinhardt as well. So we're back to the same win condition here. It's about winning that shield works, taking that Reinhardt down first, priority number 1.
Impact's playing all alone on the low ground right now. Here's the rest of his team rather close. Early bubble out from Faded, but Impact is getting punished. He has the Transcendence there to keep him alive, and now Faded's moved into the enemy team. Not going to be able to manage to find any kills on either side. Ooh, as I say that though, Hamza goes down. A grab out with the bomb from Weird to try and stabilize in the fight. They managed to do so. No support ults for Synergy means no a way to sustain through the grab coming out from Gao. And Weird keep the payload moving.
Committing to trans in an engagement-like fashion, especially when it's your only support ult, is not how you want to play this. You should know that the Zarya is coming up to a grab sometime soon, and there's no way you build another trans in time for that. So that was definitely a crucial mistake that lost Synergy that fight and allowed the Weird Squad to make it to this next point here. So they're gonna be making their way with some decent time left in the bank, and now Faded with this Earth Shatter might be able to make the Weird Squad make it even further. So now, if you're Synergy Esports, the idea is you want to block this Shatter and potentially get an opening kill here to put the numbers in your favor.
Synergy is also gonna have that grab bomb, bigger bang combo. There's the grab bomb to combo, Transcendence out. The payload's blocking most of it, but a pin onto Faded means he's gonna go down regardless. That is a heavy advantage for Synergy, and they are going to press it. Shatter comes down, doesn't manage to find much of anything, but makes it so they can clean up Skip's mech, and because of that, Synergy are gonna hold.
That Shatter on the exit from Impact is good for Synergy Esports in the way that you can get some staggers, get some more time in the bank, but it's bad because you had already won that fight and you really didn't need to commit it. Well, exactly. And now, because that Shatter is gone, Synergy Esports don't have any big fight winning ultimates here. The Weird Squad have both their tank ultimates, and as long as they're used correctly, the Weird Squad are in a pretty good position right now.
Yeah, and they recognize that. Shatter goes into a shield. Sound Barrier out from Synergy to sustain them out. Sound Barrier coming the other way. Is that a stack support all I see? Yes, it is. Now Synergy have nothing to keep them alive, and they're going to find that out the hard way as they get cleaned up on this defense.
Yeah, to make matters worse, they actually, Synergy Esports had the ults to sustain themselves here. They had the trans and the Sound Barrier, but the problem is they stacked them. Not spacing them out means you don't get their maximum value, so now the Weird Squad are making their timely way through the end game here. Still, Synergy Esports have time for one more fight. Impact does have the Shatter. Whether or not it's going to find the Impact is up to Faded here.
Nope, just finds Goose over in the backline. Actually, Brawl manages to clean him up, and Hamza goes down shortly afterwards. A bomb for a remake and a Transcendence to keep Weird alive, but there's, not really running with a player advantage here. It's a 4v5, still in favor of Synergy. Make that a 5v3. Now, rest of Weird's caught in a grab. They're gonna get cleaned up.
Yeah, losing Faded like that in that fight was really bad here for the Weird Squad, and now we're seeing Ship get staggered quite poorly. You really hate to see it. Now, Synergy Esports suddenly in a really good spot here. They managed to
run away. What a brutal stagger.
Yeah, now we're down to 1 minute left here. Suddenly Synergy Esports looking pretty good right now. They have their double support ult. As long as they're used correctly, it can keep them sustained long enough in this fight to weather the storm of the grab from the Weird Squad, and it will also allow them to build up some key ultimates of their own, as long as they are not, Shatter's not blocked, grab is not eaten, or not capitalized on. Synergy Esports have the chance to stop this and win the map.
Oh, the grab comes out from Gao. Bomb overhead. Move it forward. Not going to catch anything through Impact Shield. Now a beat coming out for Synergy. Sustains them through this push. They're going to push on forward. They find Faded. And then it's a free Shatter for Impact. Manages to get the pin on Goose through the Transcendence of Jaywalker. It's free cleanup for the defense in red now. And it's going to be desperation for Weird to try and keep this stalled out through overtime.
It hardly qualifies as desperation. It doesn't look like anyone's going to make it here. Overtime is going to run out, but the only one left is Faded, who's going to get absolutely
couldn't even touch. Oh, brutal
that must be like the boundary of what's considered contested, because I actually thought he was there.
Yeah, so did I actually. It was probably 0.01 meters away from that. Faded is going to get a little bit of a a little bit of a pat on the back here. Does get the play of the game here on first, allowed them to cap, but it is going to be Synergy going up 1 in this best of 3 series.
Yeah, a little shaky in there in the streets phase from Synergy. You see them, misusing their support ultimates, mistiming them. But during that last push there, that last-ditch effort from Weird Squad onto that onto that last point, they finally managed to get it together, use their ults correctly, and, take advantage of some misplays from the Weird Squad.
Well, talk about those misplays and more. We're going to bring HX9 back in here. What'd you think of Route 66, man?
Well, I think Route 66 is wrought with interesting plays on the outdoors and a little bit less interesting plays on the indoors. It just felt like a little bit of interesting indoor play there towards the end. I think there was a little bit of a shortcoming there when it came to synergizing ult. Felt like they're just kind of throwing themselves into the fire there. But, I'd like to hear a little bit more about what Beatdown thought might be a better way for them to get those engages a little bit more in their favor on that offense.
Are we talking about early on or?
Well, the very last pushes there. They didn't quite make it all the way, and I think they should. I think they could have if they maybe timed their ults a little bit better. But I was wondering what you're.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. Weird Squad went for it was like a bigger bang combo. The grab came out. They went for the Diva Bomb. But what had happened is they kind of mistimed the shield bash onto the Reinhardt of Synergy. So the idea is, our Rein doesn't have charge. So we're going to go for the, up close, kill behind the shield and shield bash him. Fine. But it doesn't actually work. He uses it a little too soon. On top of that, Synergy Zarya manages to get the friendly bubble on top, so it wouldn't have mattered. Either way, I think they probably should have saved their Reinhardt charge, made sure that was off cooldown before actually committing to that kind of combo, because it is really like the only way to guarantee the Rein can't keep his shield up. Like, sure, he'll be bubbled, and he might not die, but the rest of his team will die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I'm 100% agree on that one there. I got a couple questions here about just compositions in general when it comes to Route 66, but we are jumping into King's Row here very shortly, so I'm going to keep it brief and possible. You're a coach now. You're an analyst, a god tier staff member for Amplify Gaming, who we saw in the last game. I gotta ask you here.
I wish Cookie had a god tier generator, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, you can't have everything. You gotta pick
fair
between,
enough.
Overwatch and electricity. But most people pick electricity, but
Can't relate.
Yeah, but anyway, what are you thinking on King's Row here with compositions? Are we back to Goat's Land?
I mean, generally, that is what we see here, and it's looking what these teams are hovering for us. There are other options. You can run like a bunker composition here. Widow has very good sight lines on many points throughout this map, but looks like these teams are keeping it simple. They're going Goat's forehead.
Oh, 4 heads are my favorite kind of heads. Not quite as good as a 5 head, but a little bit better than a 3 head, if you will. And with that, let's see what happens here in King's Row. Take it away.
We are getting such beautiful educational lessons out to the public about how numbers work. 1 is less than 6. 5 is more than 4. I almost said that wrong.
Wow.
I almost messed that up.
We were about to fail elementary school math, guys. To be honest, smooth. But the real mood here is the match we're seeing. The Weird Squad on the defense. We got the
match is a mood.
The match is a mood. That's right. I'm sticking to it.
Okay, well, it looks like Weird's sticking to this Goat's defense. They're playing around this corner. Beta goes in very early, an early bubble onto him. It could be punishable here, but Impact's the one who's actually going to get punished. Goes down immediately, and without that main tank, Synergy aren't even going to give it a try.
No, gotta give Synergy the credit to at least attempt to back off as quickly as possible. Sure, they lose D-Man on the exit, but definitely could have been a lot worse. So now, the Weird Squad, pretty good defense here, almost losing Jaywalker, but are still in a good position. They took a minute off the clock. Haiki already has the...
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Haiki already has the Graviton Surge. There's a chance that Weird Squad aren't expecting it, so there's a good chance they could just bring this out right now.
Gotta be careful though. Impact got bubbled so early again, but
Oh!
it is out. Oh, a shatter out from Faded though, denies most of the follow-up, and Impact goes down. Pancake goes down, popping the rally, and now Weird just push forward and get those cleanup kills they were denied last defense.
And Weird Squad might not have been expecting the grab, but Synergy was not expecting that shatter. So now, again, great defense, and they're in such a good position. Bigger Bang combo about to come online. If Synergy Esports want to come get through this and break this ult advantage here, they really need to try to at least weather the storm of the tank ultimates we're about to see. Luckily, they have double support ult of their own, so sustain is definitely possible.
Well, they're gonna try and sustain the bomb yet again a little forward, but the pin means that combo is gonna go down anyways. Impact does get a pin onto Gao, but going down shortly after. Reinhardt, Faded, is still alive for the defense, and yet again, Synergy just denied so early in that fight.
It seems like Weird Squad really have Impact's number. Wow, that's staggering. It seems like they really have
Would you
Impact
say
number.
he's not quite having the impact he needs to be?
I would say that he has so much impact, and that's why Weird Squad see fit to just try to take him out of the fight as early as possible all the time. But Impact, looking to make his impact, has the Earth Shatter. This could be, you know, what Synergy needs. 90 seconds left here. If they can land a big shatter or get an early pick off, they have a good chance of capping this point A.
Yeah,
There it
there's
is!
the big shatter, blocks the counter shatter, Impact moves forward, looking for the cleanup. Hamza is down, there's still a Transcendence for Weird here, but now they're not gonna have it for the full time of the grab bomb combo. Bomb finds Gao, and this is Synergy taking this fight and this point off of the back of quite a few ultimates.
The absolute discipline from Impact gets the 5-man shatter, but is aware of Faded, so he blocks it anyway. By the way, Impact has another shatter. I mean, we might see that really soon. Yeah, so now, Synergy Esports leaving one on the cart while they continuously get picks here. It is honestly a really smart way to play this. You know, you keep the Weird Squad all the way back into their spawn room, keep them as far as possible, keep getting these picks, and not only does it increase the ult charge that you have, the longer the Weird Squad are unable to really take part in any fights, the less ult charge they're going to build. The later in the Streets phase they're going to be taking this next fight, you know, what would be 3 fights could be 1. And oh no, Impact! He's looking for the shatter.
Oh, Gao
But he
gets
gets
spot. Gao
one.
spots him, throws out the shatter in panic.
Oh, but he still gets
Pin
it.
onto Faded, and because of that, Gao's gonna go down too. Jaywalker finds a nice frag on the D-Man, but he's caught out so far. And Synergy, even though they got scouted on that sneaky play, managed to make it work.
Sometimes even if you see it coming, it really doesn't matter. Kind of like a car crash. So it's all about the
before disasters.
it's all about the impact.
Impact against the ground.
That's right. And look at that. They won it with the Earth Shatter. Synergy are about to take what is essentially what could be the last fight here of the Streets phase, and are in a really good spot here. Grab is out.
Yeah, Grab is out. No Transcendence for Jaywalker, but no follow-up from Synergy. Now late bomb overhead from Skip. Managed to get onto combo. Impact finds the shatter though, and the cleanup comes through. The Transcendence from Jay is just a little bit late. So it's a 5v6 for Synergy.
my
Nothing out of Faded shatter. And now Impact's just gonna walk forward, holds W and M1, bullies Faded into a corner, and wins out the fight. Just Chip on the high ground.
He tried.
Contest there, but it's gonna be Synergy taking point B.
I think Impact heard your comment there about not having much impact and decided, you know what? I know, he's like, I'm gonna show that Pulsable guy. I'm just gonna win this game. But no,
with the 3-minute delay, he just heard me. He felt it in his bones.
Yeah, he felt it from the future. For the past? I don't know. We're not getting into time here. We're just casting Overwatch. And speaking of time, just under 3 minutes here. Synergy are making such good time. Impact again with the shatter, ready to make his impact. That's like his 4th shatter.
What's happening is he's throwing them out at the beginning of fights, getting that nice cleanup into the grab. But speaking of nice picks or cleanups or whatever, Weird off the back of a nice pick out of Jaywalker on a combo. Just win that out nice and easy. No disengage means no chance.
And that's absolutely right. So now the time is down to 2 minutes, and the Weird Squad have finally, you know, found their center, and they're trying to dig their heels into the ground here. So now Synergy Esports. Actually, we got a lot of ults here online for both teams. It's going to be really colorful, but it's all about who is smarter with their ult usage, who finds the most value. Is it going to be Impact Shatter or Gal's Graviton Surge?
Well,
Okay,
Impact
Impact
Shatter does manage to lay down a few, but Gal's Grav denies any kind of follow-up. So they kind of just cancel each other out here. Now the Grav's coming the other way. Everybody's pressing Q! Where is the follow-up? Chip gets it! Gets 2 in the back line, gives his team a 4v6, and an easy job for some cleanup kills.
And the deciding factor was the fact that they could not, Synergy Esport could not block Ship's bomb there. You know, we saw Impact and Pancake try to do it with their shields, but it wasn't enough. So losing both supports in one shot like that is essentially a very easy decision to disengage here. But Synergy retain the sound barrier here. D-Man, and he pretty soon will come up to the trans. So Synergy Esports just need to sustain long enough in this fight to build up some ultimates here. Impact, if I know him, he's gonna build a Shatter any second now. So it's really about how quickly he can get it and use it.
Well, first thing out's the sound barrier. Gives Synergy some nice offensive momentum. They fully faded. He goes ever so low, but they're not able to get the kill. First kill's on a Pancake, as D-Man's Transcendence is just a little too late. Faded does go down, though. Impact's nearly at that Shatter. All they have to do is survive through the self-destruct, and they do that rather easily. So now, Impact could find Shatter down onto the enemy team. Throws it out. The Transcendence is there. Jaywalker read him like a book, and he blocks the charge as well. So now, Faded back in the fight. There's no support ult to sustain through Heike's grab. However, Go and Crawl eats the grab coming out the other way. But Impact goes down regardless. Weird, they had the sound barrier to sustain them, and they hold the defense with 10 seconds left.
It doesn't even seem like anyone from Synergy is going to be able to touch, but if they can get even 1 second of contest, it looks like it doesn't even matter here. 1 second left, and Heike isn't even close.
Beautiful defense coming out there for Weird. Gotta hand it to them. They were looking a little bit on the back foot ever since they lost that first point, but they got that ult rotation going, and they managed to find more value. And Goats is a composition where we talk about ultimate value so very often.
Yeah, and in their defense, Weird Squad actually had some really good couple of one fights there on the point A defense. They seem to be really smart about how they're taking all these engages. As soon as someone steps even 1 centimeter out of position, they just instantly go for that punish. You know, like I was saying, constantly taking Impact out of the fight. And and this is the Goats composition here. You lose your Reinhardt, that's the staple. You lose Rein, you go back to spawn. You backpedal it straight the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, gotta commend Synergy for their discipline on those early fights. Definitely could have gone much worse for their offense had they tried to ram their heads against that wall without their Reinhardt with them. But now, like I was saying earlier, doesn't look like a Goats defense from Synergy. We're getting that bunker comp. Actually, it's double sniper, not bunker.
Yeah, but Pancake, instead of the traditional Widowmaker, Pancake is gonna play the Ashe. Honestly, a smart swap here.
Smart.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a decently wide open area. Sure, wall hacks are great. Infosight is nice. But, getting that 7th man, getting that Bob to do something, there's just so much undeniable value there. And honestly, just Brig in her own... not Brig. Ashe in her own right does put out a lot of damage, with the left click.
Especially against Goats, right? When you got that Dynamite onto 6 players, you work up to that Bob very quickly. And the sightline's out for Synergy. Gonna make it difficult for Weird, but they're not even gonna try. They're not even trying Goats into this.
Hey, I like it. Matter of fact, it was going to be difficult to run this on a Ghost comp in that way, so they opt for this Gendry Sombra dive instead. Makes a lot more sense. It's so easy to dive the Orisa because of the lack of rotational abilities here. So now they make the dive, they get the damage in on the squishies, and they get the kill.
Oh, Impact gets deleted, but so does Faded. So it's still pretty even here. Pancake fragging out, manages to find 1 in a mech. Hansa finds a mech of his own. Meanwhile, Ship is down on the point, contesting. Someone needs to deny this man a tick. Gal gonna go and get it for himself here before just getting out. Hansa's gonna go for a bit of ult charge. Oh, actually manages to find combo here. A bit of a staggered in fight, but it's one that Weird can take advantage of. They have the respawn advantage, and now they're bullying Crawl down on the point. Jaywalker does go down to Heike over in the back line, and with Gal going down as well, we're finally gonna go back and just wait for the regroup.
the thing is, getting the kill onto the Orisa is nice, but committing all your cooldowns to it is a bit of a problem because there's so much DPS coming out of the Hanzo and the Ashe from Synergy Esports. So what Weird Squad need to do going forward is to, choose their targets a little better here. You see D-Man on the Zenyatta. Go for him. That's the target you want to go for because that's a lot of damage suddenly lost for Synergy.
Oh, speaking of damage, Nano Blade deals a hell of a lot of damage. Hamza finds one, finds two on the D-Man. He's looking for a third. He's on impact. He cleans him up. Bob's down on the point, but what can one Omnic do against the world? Kraw's gonna try and stall it out, and Pancake actually managed to find two with Bob here, so it's not all over yet. Ship's mech goes down as well. Pancake just fragging out. He's not even there. He's up on the high ground, and he manages to shut that down before a tick can even get gained.
The problem is that Pancake got so much value out of the Bob here. Manages to just... Like, the fact is the Weird Squad kind of should have waited it out instead of actually trying to fight the Bob as well as the rest of Synergy.
Yeah, well, they're going into this fight anyways, even though they're down a healer. He finds that out the hard way. He goes down, and EMP in the backline. D-Man goes down as well. So it's a 4v4. Pancake finds Chip. So a little bit of an advantage, but a second tick is gained for Weird on the offense. Kraw going down on point. It's just up to the snipers to try and frag out, but they got to move down to the point themselves, and they're so very vulnerable. D-Man knows that, and he's going to commit the Transcendence to try and save him. Pancake gets anti, can't get healed, and goes down to Hamza. Now Impact back on the Reinhardt, but you can't shield a Dragon Blade. Hamza cleaning him up, and he finds the kills. We're going to cap point A.
Is Synergy getting so much value out of their DPS characters here, managing to shave time off the clock, just managing to force Weird Squad into some weird positions here, to the point where they actually committed so many ultimates, and honestly, because of that, they make the swap onto the goats with a little less quants here. You don't really lose out on much in terms of ult charge. So now, Synergy still having the advantage with the bomb. Weird Squad, they're not exactly running mirrors here. We see the Ana from Weird Squad on the side of Jay Walker. It's really going to be about landing those abilities. And speaking of abilities...
Yeah, the Nano's out, a bomb overhead. Doesn't manage to find anything from Kraw. So, gonna have to try and regroup. An ice pin onto Faded. Means that Synergy suddenly find themselves in the advantageous position. They still have their Reinhardt available. So much damage mitigation available. Now Gao goes down, caught out in the room. We're gonna call for the retreat here, but they're gonna get cleaned up before they can do so.
Yeah, punish on the Gao is very big here for Synergy, especially with just getting him out of the fight. He has to restart in terms of the Zarya energy. So now, Synergy are in a pretty good spot right here. Getting that kill onto Faded when Weird Squad got a little too over-aggressive was really important. And now, Impact has actually already charged the Earth Shatter. This guy just charges them so quickly. So now, not a whole lot available for Weird Squad. Yeah, so not a whole lot available for the Weird Squad. It's really going to be, if they want to get this card around the corner, they got to block this Shatter and build one of their own.
Oh, the block doesn't quite come through. Oh, but Pancake does get found out here. So now, Brick gone for Synergy. Means no pack onto your Reinhardt. Impact finds that out the hard way. Now Synergy just gonna throw themselves onto the point, try and stall that one out. We're just gonna keep it moving.
Good shot from Jay Walker here, but still, Pancake, as the Brick, you don't want to go down that early. You really do need to stay alive and make use of all the CC you offer, the armor pack that you mentioned. It's such a almost underrated ability, I want to say. So now Synergy Esports are coming into this fight. It's going to be a really last-second contest here, but they also don't have too much to stand on here. Hopefully this Transcendence will keep them alive so that they can weather the ult storm of the Weird Squad.
Oh, there's the ult storm coming out. The bomb finds Impact. A nice pin from Faded there. Going to give Weird a very early advantage in this fight. Yet again, Synergy sort of just forced to throw themselves one by one onto the point to stall this one out. And they didn't really get much out of Weird for their defense here, but not a lot of time in the bank as Weird move on to third.
Well, two and a half still isn't bad, and I somewhat think they did all right to get the bigger bang combo kind of out of the way of the Weird Squad, because all Synergy really committed was the Transcendence. But 2 ults for 1 I think is a fair trade. So now what Synergy needs to do is continue this path of ult denial here. Now the grab bomb comes out on their side.
Yeah, it does. A nice pin means Kraw's gonna find 2. Easy cleanup, cannot be denied by Jay Walker's Transcendence here. And Synergy gonna push them all the way back to the spawn door.
had Boost committed to Sound Barrier, but didn't really get anything out of it either. So that just hurts even a little bit more if you're the Weird Squad, suddenly going from 2 support ults to none, and Synergy are now in a pretty good position ult-wise. Now the Weird Squad are coming around the corner here, 90 seconds left. They still got some big tank ultimates, so can they really get the value? Big Shatter!
Oh, speaking of big tank ultimates, the Shatter finds 3. Gao goes down first and foremost. Impact does get traded out here, but it's a trade onto the entire team of Weird, so Synergy, you're going to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, trading 1 for 6. I think it's a pretty good trade, Pulsable. What about you?
You know, we've been doing math today, right? And
right?
we did say that 6 is bigger than 1, so...
We did. So yeah, I'm glad we're in agreement there. Now suddenly Synergy doing really well to keep the Weird Squad from advancing much further here. Double support online, about to come to the bigger bang combo here, so they're still in a pretty good spot.
Yes, even better spot here as the grab comes out. Most of the value denied by D-Man. Oh, but there's a Shatter. He can't find anything. Shipfont eats Haki's grab here. Weird. Now throw out the bomb just to try and catch the stragglers. They catch D-Man before he can go into the room. Only 3 alive for Synergy. They've got to back up, but only 5 meters for the cart to go. Kraw's gonna desperately try and contest this. Throws the bomb out just to mess with Weird, but it doesn't do anything more than take out some damage on the shield. Nobody even gets there. Weird tie it up. We're going to a 3rd map.
The Weird Squad suddenly reinvigorated, playing so well against Synergy in this map. Like I was saying before, the punish game that they have is so good. You know, as soon as you are out of position, as soon as you make one misstep, they're so quick to capitalize on it. And they also get a lot of value out of their ult combinations here. You always see the bigger bang combo get 1 or 2 members, and they always know what fights to capitalize on.
Yeah, not gonna lie. When I was in the coach's den, when Amplify was taking these guys on, right? One of the things, the coach's corner, basically. One of the things I told the team was, hey, if you bubble early, Weird is going to destroy you. Synergy found that out the hard way more than a few times. Speaking of the hard way, we're gonna take the hard way back over to the desk and bring HX9 back on in here.
HX9's here. He is kind of
There he is.
lulled to a little bit of a sleep there in the second. There, you know, those bomb combos, I'm a little tired of them. So I want to talk about the first half, right? Ash in the window, okay? You know, Weird Squad ended up pulling it out there, but I got to say that Ash in the window, Pancakes Ash, one of the most amazing things to watch there. Knocks the Winston out of the window by bouncing him out there with her knockback gun, throwing those preemptive dynamites so that they explode as the other team dives in. The Bob that came on the point and saved it that one time. You know, it was refreshing to see. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say Ash was so refreshing to see there.
No, and you're definitely right. And that's one of the great things about the first point of King's Row, right? Is you can play snipers up in those angles. The problem becomes, and Synergy found this out, how do you contest a point, right? And when your tanks are sort of tunnel visioned on holding this high ground position, even especially when your snipers aren't playing behind it, it becomes an issue of, oh, we found the picks, but we gave up a tick. Oh, we found the picks again, but now we gave them another tick. Now they have 2 ticks. We have to throw ourselves onto the point, and that's when you get cleaned up.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a problematic way of playing. Like sometimes it's okay to give up a tick to overall hold the point, because the holding on point A is hard. Like you can't deny that. So shaving as much time off the bank for what I won't say is the inevitable capture, but the very likely capture is important. Like if you can shave a lot of time off the bank, great. Now they're in the streets phase with like 3 minutes, and you can shave up. You know what I mean? Like of course you want to halt them at every point.
And I think the reason it was so effective for Synergy at first was because they forced the swaps from Weird, right? If Weird was able to get those same kind of ticks with Goats and then get the first point and have those ultimates in the bank for Goats, Synergy's defense would have been much quicker, right? Because then they have to swap onto the Goats and they're at a heavy disadvantage. But the fact that Weird just immediately go, nope, we're switching, means that the defense is instantly worth it.
Yeah, but it was kind of a bit of a catch-22. It's like, yeah, they let's say they don't have the they do have the ultimates. They keep it and they make their way through streets phase. But no matter how that went, too much was committed by Synergy to begin with. So it kind of seemed like it just would have been, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Well, you know what does matter? This map, Volskaya Industries,
There you
2CP. We don't get to see it often because it's pretty buried in our AG Weekly schedule, but today we're going to see it. And these compositions, at least this offense is looking a little special.
Oh, I'm really liking what we're seeing here. Quad DPS with the Tracer and the Tracer and the Hanzo. I really like the Tracer here. It's all about backline pressure. So you really, if you're good enough, you can get that one clip on the Jaywalker, or at least get some serious damage in.
Right now, it's mostly Hockey trying to get that serious damage in onto Faded. But right now, Synergy mostly just dancing around the point. Hockey finds a nice pick onto Jaywalker over on the side. Means Faded's not going to have nearly as much health to work with. Bubble's already out. He retreats into the room. The entirety of Weird just being like, hey, guys, we can hide in here. They can't get us in here. Oh, wait, we can't contest the point here. We got to move on out. Chip finds that out the hard way. Mech goes down right now. It's weird. How do you even try and contest all of these long-range players? You can't is the answer. They're just getting picked apart.
And then that's the thing about when you play the Ghost composition. The way you deal with it is you deal with enemies right up in your face. Within like 5 feet of you. That's the entirety of the Ghost comp's, relevance. So when you're dealing with a wrecking ball in your face, 4 DPS that can pretty much demolish you at long range, it is very hard to deal with. I don't want to say impossible, because it's definitely doable, but because of this, we're seeing swaps here. Now, we're going for the single DPS on the Weird squad. Gao has made the swap onto the Sombra, probably wants to, get a hack onto one of the DPS players who are so mobile, and then suddenly they're no longer able to escape. And that's how they start their defense, but Goose, the one not able to escape here.
Yeah, the EMP comes out, connects onto 4. Barrage overhead, manages to find Skip, but not much else. So, Croft does manage to pick up Gao. Point is being contested here. Impact down, throws the minefield onto the point. Goose, desperation sound barrier to try and sustain his team through long enough so the respawns can come through. Same with the Transcendence out from Jaywalker, but it's just not enough. Now the Dragon's on the point, find Goose on the side. There is a tank line here for Weird on the point, but they're not managing to find the picks. Synergy just eating them alive one by one, but you've got to convert this into some point progress, Synergy. Impact needs to be down onto the point, finding that tick or two. You're finding the kills, but where... Guys, the point's so important. Finally, they group up onto it. They nearly managed to get themselves one tick here, but the contest coming out from Weird right now is just so good. Now the kills still going in the favor of Synergy, actually. And this is ridiculous. Come on, somebody kill everybody else. Please. There's the EMP out from Weird. Makes it so that they can try and get in here. One tick taken for Synergy on this point. Oh, combo gets slept during the res. And now it's finally looking like Weird have stabilized and are going to hold this defense.
Okay, a lot to unpack here, but I think really what's
just throw the suitcase away?
I would love to. What happened here is that you lose Impact on the Wrecking Ball. Like, you saw that this was mostly in Synergy's favor. It's just a matter of time. But you lose the Wrecking Ball, all of a sudden, you lose that pressure, that ability to throw the enemy into disarray. So Synergy, realizing it's not going to work, swap to the full Ghost comp. We see an Ana Ghost from the Weird squad here. Jaywalker in a really good position to get some nades.
Ooh, and Hamza in a really bad position, gets caught out on the side, and so does Faded. Already a 6v4 in favor of the offense here. Move their way onto the point. It's just Chip right now, trying to dance around on the point, but he's getting pelted from all sides. Forced to use the self-destruct there. Doesn't find much of anything, can't even remech. Second tick gain for Synergy Esports, as now Weird going to desperately throw themselves one by one onto the point, but they can't keep the contest going. And Synergy is gonna cap point.
Although the Ana Ghost is useful, the reason it's not used too often is the fact that the only way you can justify Ana over Zen is, alright, is this map one where the Ana can land the sleep darts, land the anti-grenades, without, having to go on some sort of mad flank? If the answer is yes, yeah, there is some value to be had there, but still, even then you could argue you'd rather have the Zenyatta. See, the problem here is that when Synergy isolated members of Weird Squad onto the right side. Another issue with Ana kind of props up, like, oh, Ana needs to stay at a distance, but needs to keep you in line of sight. Suddenly, her team wasn't. So because that happened, they started to fall apart very quickly. Yeah, it was a pretty big anti-grenade, but, not enough damage was getting done to Synergy.
Just imagine if Synergy had swapped to the GOATs, the first time they went in there, instead of dancing around on the point for 2.5 minutes.
I mean, they had ult in the bank, so it was reasonable for you to actually try and go in there. That's the thing with these quad DPS comps. You don't really carry them on to point B unless through your point A capture, you built up some really good ultimates. So, Synergy, this time, going for a Widow Pharah defense here. Pancake definitely has his work cut out for him because we do see a GOATS attack here from the Weird Squad. So what Pancake really needs to do is he needs to aim for those supports, and he almost can't afford to miss.
And it's going to be on to Hockey to try and open up those angles for him. Concussive Blast, just dealing damage, forcing the Reinhardt or the D.Va to look another way, give Pancake an opening. Right now, he's sort of just pelting down, already faded. Taking a good bit of damage here. Pancake over on and off angle. It's all about the crossfire here for the defense, as Weird have a very slow rotation into that room. Just get punished, lose both their primary supports in the first moment, and now they have to try and run back to their spawn while getting picked apart by the Pharah.
They really needed to tighten up that rotation so they could get inside without losing anyone, but losing both your supports pretty much guarantees you do need to back up here. So now Synergy in a pretty good spot. Heike already built up most of a rocket barrage here, although they are notoriously hard to use. If he can get 1 or 2 picks, this next fight could also be as good as done.
Yeah, a rotation from Weird over on the side. Gao going out early. Just a little bit of ult charge. Pancake pops the bubble. Right now, Weird just waiting it out. They want to have full resources as they move on to the point. It's going to be the least advantageous position for them. The barrage overhead gets denied by Skip, and Pancake finds a pick on to Goose. In the meantime, though, Hockey not getting punished, does manage to survive, so it's still favorable for the defense here. Pancake just completely uncontested, finding so much damage into the lines of the offense.
Yeah, just as well. It seems like Heike on this Pharah is largely being ignored. You see the occasional ship try to go bother him in the sky, but so far nothing of value really brought up in that regard. So Weird Squad realized this GOATS comp is going to be too hard to run into this crossfire. So instead, we now see a Genji Tracer dive comp. So what they really need to do here is probably try to shut down Pancake, force the grappling hook out, and then catch him on his reposition.
Oof. Well, can't dive onto him if you're dead. Fun fact.
No. Yeah, sorry,
I don't know if you knew that one, but I thought we covered that a few maps ago, didn't we? Can't do things if you're dead.
Oh, that's right. That was like early on.
We covered that on Root. Yeah.
Yeah. Full circle.
Maybe needs a little bit of a repeat lesson on that one.
No, that's fine. He has another chance here. The problem is now Synergy
So many
Esports.
ults.
Yeah, and Infrasight is up. They know where the rest of them are. It is going to be tough here, and Umza going down doesn't make this any easier.
Oh man, Weird just so staggered on this push right now, not finding the optimal angles. They dive over into the room on the side where Pancake just gets clear shots at him, and Synergy just hold that nice and easy.
Yeah, they really didn't commit any super key ultimates. Like, they still have the trans. Yeah, which is, a good stall ultimate, but we're down to a minute now. There's really 2 fights if they're really quick. Heike, again, eyes are on him for Synergy. If he can get a big rocket barrage, he can end this map for his team.
Early sound barrier out from Weird to try and get the offense to the point. They managed to get there, but meanwhile, Pancake and Hockey, the DPS, picking the lines of the offense apart. Weird, already 3 down. Ship goes down over on the side, throws himself off the edge to try and get this stagger out. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds. This is the last fight here. It seems like Weird Squad are struggling really hard to actually get Pancake or even make a decision here. They do seem split in all of the dives that they're going for. It doesn't seem like if they were struggling this much, they probably should have swapped to like a moats or a floats or whatever it's called, where you play the dive ghost comp here. The Winston Ghost, because I think they really needed that sustain if they're going to keep getting caught on rotation like that.
Alright, there's the Nano Blade out. This is the last winning condition that they have. And Hamza, he can't find anything.
Pancake!
Gets domed by Pancake. Now he's looking for the cleanup on the Widowmaker. Dodge self-destruct, not that hard. Craw finds one. Chip, you know, he got Pancake over on the side, but nobody can touch Synergy Esports. Winning this one out and sending themselves to the finals.
Weird Squad seemingly completely lost during those last couple fights. They honestly didn't seem like they knew what to do. They kept getting shut down at every turn, and when you have good DPS players like Pancake, like Heike, your margin for error is that much smaller.
Well, you know, Heike didn't really need a big margin for error. Let's be real. So good on that Pharah. But you know, and it's interesting. Earlier when we saw Weird on Gibraltar, right? Their compositions that weren't that Reinhardt Goats seem to struggle a little bit, right? That was where Amplify was able to take advantage of them. But talk about those advantages and more. HX9, what do you got to say about Volskaya?
You know, I've got to say, the 4 DPS composition rolling in there, you know, I wish we could make up our minds. Do we want all tanks and heals, or do we want all DPS? I don't know. It's sometimes
one or the other.
You know, it's one or the other.
All DPS.
Why can't we have both? Why can't we have 2-2-2? That's what I'm wondering. But, you know, I caught an interesting swap there, actually. You mentioned the 4 DPS going in there just kind of puttering out, you know, kind of not really being able to do things. It's because there were just so many other DPS and stalling characters on the defense there. It's just so hard to connect those shots. Pharah was having trouble getting any damage. I was zoomed in on her the entire time. So that's why they really couldn't connect on the damage and eventually just ran out of steam there when they were pushing in. But the interesting thing there, I think, was when they swapped. When they swapped to Goats, the defense there, Weird Squad, actually was a little late in swapping to Goats, and they ended up keeping their Ana there. Beatdown, you mentioned that. And by keeping their Ana, I think they ended up losing out on that Discord orb, losing out on the Goats 3.0. They were back to Goats 2.0 there. And, you know, it's like you said, Ana's been switched out because she's just not as powerful as Zenyatta. The Discord orb is too strong. You can't really get those cheeky grenades a lot of times against the Diva. And also with flanks and whatnot. So I think they were a little late on the swap. You also saw 2 of them get caught out of position there because they were late on the swap to that counter to their own Goats. So I think a lot of mistakes there that Weird Squad could have improved upon there. That being said, they didn't quite get through on point A either. So
you know,
that's kind of my analysis there on the whole kit and caboodle.
And you know what? Going back to the Ana, I wouldn't argue that the Zen Goats is necessarily more powerful. I just think that
really, I would.
It's more. I feel like it's more consistent. Is the problem, right?
Yeah, but this is Overwatch.
Ana Goats at its peak. Ana Goats at its peak. You know, you get a 6-man bio. That's way better than a Discord orb, right?
Sure.
The problem
but
is you're not going to hit
too much.
The problem is you're not going to hit those bios all the time.
You're going to hit that bio, and you're going to get a Transcendence, a Zarya cleanse, a Zarya bubble cleansing.
Transcendence doesn't do anything.
And then you're going to get a sound barrier. Transcendence gets rid
of
gets rid of his. It gets rid of his bio.
Oh, sure, his bio.
He's gonna cleanse himself. I mean, half your bio's gone.
Sure, but that's still 3 people who are bioed and can't.
Okay, but listen.
I'm not trying to say. No. You didn't let me finish my point.
Okay, fine.
What I was gonna say is the reason the Zen Goats is better, not necessarily more powerful at its peak, but better, is because it's consistent, right? It can guarantee value, and that's something we talk about with Goats a lot, right? Why risk anything when Goats is a composition where every single ability, every single ultimate, you can guarantee value. So there's no need most of the time to sub in that Ana when you're risking things like that. That's what I was trying to say.
But I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to get into this conversation of arguing like the meaning of words, but it really seems
it's not arguing. It's debating.
Okay, I don't want to debate the meaning of words either.
That's what the young people use to get out of a good discussion.
Okay, my point is, I'm trying to avoid debating the meaning of words, but it always seemed like in Overwatch in general, what is powerful is what's the most consistent. Why do you think we play Goats in the first place? It's consistently the best comp. It's the most, and people call it the most powerful comp for that reason, because Overwatch especially is a game where even the smallest lack of consistency is very punishable.
Yeah, and I'm literally agreeing with you. That's why I think Zen Goats is the better composition, right? It has
And
a
more
higher
powerful.
It has a higher average power. Let's go with that.
I don't know, like if you, because the peak that you're describing is kind of unrealistic.
It's I mean, sure, 6-man every time is unrealistic. That's why it's a peak, right? That's why you don't run the Ana Goats anymore, is because the peak is not as consistent, right? But when you can, because the assumption that just anytime you bio, like 3 people are gonna get cleansed is kind of it's just as ridiculous as saying anytime you bio, you're gonna get 6 people, right?
It's just as
That's not always
ridiculous as
gonna be
saying
cooldowns are gonna be down. You're
anytime
not always gonna have.
you're gonna hit anybody because you're
To be honest,
defense
yeah, like
matrix,
because good enough
shielded.
teams, yeah,
But
good enough teams
with-
are gonna block that.
Sure, but you know, I'm not. Y'all
I don't know.
y'all
Yeah,
are just
like we're
missing my
not
point
really
entirely.
we're not really no. Like I know what you're saying. It's just odd because like the reason Ana fell off is because I actually think it is just an inferior comp because it's not just about how good. I'm saying when I bring up the Bionade, it's because that's where a lot of her value is. But that's it. The thing about Zen is that his value is in multiple places. The damage output he is just an individual puts. Couple that with the Discord Orb. The Discord Orb works for the rest of his team.
I think you're reducing Ana down a bit. She has
No,
higher healer numbers than Zen on average. Not
yeah,
including
but
the
why does that?
Transcendence.
But why does that matter?
And you can
When
also
you can
have the Nano, which helps your tanks get up to their big, powerful ultimates.
Congrats,
I'm not
but-
trying to say that Ana is better than Zen. I think she's worse because
okay,
Zen's ult is better, right?
okay, no,
Zen's
as
doing
long as you agree
bit
she's
more
worse,
consistent.
I'm happy.
I'm trying to say that she's
It's-
worse.
No, I
it's
know.
the
saying
World of
on
Warcraft
average-
problem again. Okay,
I'm saying on
We-
average, she is worse.
We had this problem in World of Warcraft too, okay? Blizzard loves to do this. They try to vary all their healer ultimates. Great. You know, they vary all their healer synergy, but the healers with the defensive cooldowns are the ones you bring to the raid. And it's the same in Overwatch. And it's the same in it was the same in Heroes of the Storm too. You bring the supports that have the big defense. It's a Blizzard balancing problem. I'm going to say that just 100%. That's why you bring the 3 supports that have defensive ults that are the best. Who cares about Nano Boost when you can bring something that counteracts 2 ults or 2 ult combos? Can I counteract 1 ult or can I counteract 2 ults? You know?
Yeah. No, I fully agree.
It's stupid. I think it's dumb. I think they need to give supports something else. They switch the balance in some other way because those defensive ults, not the way to do it. You're just going to get stuck in the same synergy. Unless, of course, you force 2-2-2. Force 2-2-2.
I don't know if I inherently agree with the idea of getting rid of big support ults that save your team, because they have been meta dependent at times, right? Like we have seen like offensive metas where we get like Nano Blades or we get the Beyblade meta, right? It's not as often because the ability to just save everyone at on your team at the press of a button is so good. But I definitely think in the GOATS meta, more than anything, losing Transcendence is so punishing. I think that's the biggest flaw of Ana, not the Bionade. I think her damage output is actually not necessarily more consistent, but again, it peaks higher than the Zen. Right, but the fact that you're trading out you're trading out a bit more offensive momentum, potentially, not even consistently, or losing out on consistent damage and a consistent way to save your team, that's why Ana struggles.
Wait. Repeat that last line again.
What, the thing about consistency?
Before that, like that whole thing.
Persistence,
So what I was saying,
perspiration, something else.
at Ana's peak, right, you have more offensive momentum, right? You get a 6-man bio, that's better than a 1-man Discord, right? But the problem is you're trading out inconsistent peaks that are better for consistency where your defense is going to be worse regardless, right? So your offensive power might be better sometimes, but your defensive power is always going to be worse.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Look, the fact is,
That's as good as a win as far as I'm concerned.
you're gonna opt to pick Ana if you're forced into 2-2-2. if you have the option to pick 3 supports, you're not picking on it. You're gonna pick the ultimate AoE synergy of the gods, that is Zenyatta,
God.
Lucio, Brigitte. You don't have an option. Those are just the best 3 healer synergy you can get. There's no question. What are you gonna do about Moira? You know, that'd be my next question. We're gonna jump into Route 66. So
Please.
I really do think it's a question though, like how do we bring Moira back into the game? Because even in 222, no one uses Moira.
I will tell you how you bring her back.
Give her
Embrace
utility.
her. I mean,
No.
yeah, give her utility.
She needs utility if she's gonna come back, right? She's the only healer that doesn't have some kind of utility. Right?
Someone actually tried to tell me her utility was that she heals a lot, and I was like,
That's
That's,
not
that's
utility,
reasonable.
healing.
She just you can't
but
heal
that's
too
not-
much. Like
but that's
there's
not
not enough
uti-
healing for her to.
yeah,
utility
exactly.
utility is outside of healing or damage. That's
Exactly.
the idea.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you know,
we will
it's
talk
not-
about this later because I have a really good
we
point on
are
that.
going to go into the next match here. It is going to be Spin coming from the other side of the bracket against Synergy, who
There
you
we go.
just saw here.
There we go.
Synergy will be defending in the blue. Will Spin come out on the offense?
And we're seeing this triple DPS instead of the quad DPS here from Synergy. We have the Pancake on this Ashe again. So much value before. It's really just going to be, again, you know, make space for Pancake if you're Synergy Esports and just divide and conquer. Stay spread out and make use of all your long-range damage.
Ooh, Pure's making better use of that long-range damage.
There you
Impact
go.
goes down. No
Ooh.
shields available. And the res gets denied as Neon finds Kraw. Freedom goes down as well. So no Sombers for either side here, but Spin just have all the angles they could ever need, and they're going to pick the defense apart.
Pure doing so well here on the far, getting the opening pick, allowing, you know, forcing rather Synergy to get onto that back foot. Fuchsia and Neon doing so much damage on these sniper characters, just have more damage potential in general. So now it's forcing Synergy to swap to the Genji Sombra dive here. So, you know, like I was mentioning before, the way you want to counteract this kind of comp is, you know, pick the least mobile target you can, shut them down, and then go to the next one here. Oh, but it looks like he's hacked on entry.
Yeah, they're trying to pick out that immobile target of Fuchsia, but not going to be able to do so, and he gets res. Now Barrage overhead from Pure. Doesn't manage to find anything as it was denied by Krod. Does lose the mech for it, and Fuchsia and Freedom both frag out. It's only stragglers here on the point for the defense of Synergy. They're not going to be able to hold it. Quick cap from Spin.
It seems like we're gonna get another swap here. Pancake opting for the Widowmaker. His kind of wants to try and, you know, contest the snipers from the side of Spin, but difficult position to be in here because now, you know, you got the one sniper on your side, but you got to deal with multiple angles of ingress here from Spin. They have the Hanzo and the Widowmaker, so there's a lot of pressure there. Unless Heike can, you know, makes more space by getting in the face of at least one of them.
Charlie's gonna get in their face though. A minefield down in their face. Just gonna pick them apart from the angles. So is Neon. Finds another one. Already 2 down for Synergy as they try and get in here, but a hack onto their Winston means they're not going anywhere for the moment. Combo just throws himself onto the point, tries to stall it out a bit, but Spin win that fight decisively.
Freedom has been getting such really key hacks here on the Synergy, and it's been constantly dismantling them. For the most part, he's been hacking Impact, actually, and Spin has just been doing really well to take him apart. So now, Synergy, with this bit of a disadvantage here, walls are up, so now Spin can see them no matter where they're coming from. They really do need to start getting some picks on their side.
Oh, the Dragon comes out, but it's a little late to deny Synergy from getting out the door. They've managed to get there, and they're bullying Pure up on the high ground. Meanwhile, down on the low ground, Impact finds a kill on Keeper. He's in the back. He finds another one onto Fuchsia. And finally, it's looking like Synergy are going to stabilize off the back of some nice tank play.
Yeah, they took an interesting approach here, went for a bit of a split fight. You see D-Man, Nano's Impact. He jumps right into the backline of Spin, literally solo takes this fight, you know, gets some damage in, is forced to use the Primal, and then the rest of his team go for the remainder of Spin. They kind of split up, and it actually does end up working. The DPS from Synergy do get the kills necessary, so they're now stable with 3 minutes to go, and the blade is out!
Oh, EMP blade, but Hockey goes down immediately. Can't find any kind of value. Synergy now struggling to restabilize here. Impact down, Pancake down as well. Freedom's just farming them from the high ground. And that payload's gonna keep moving.
A big EMP from Freedom, manages to just catch Pancake here on this Genji, and because he is unable to really Haikyuu, sorry, and yeah, him getting hacked means, you know, no dash resets, pretty much completely denies the blade, on top of combo, unfortunately not catching him in that sound barrier. So now point is captured for Spin. They're going into the final phases. Synergies have decided, let's just go Goat's forehead. And you know what? It's actually the common strategy for this area of the map. Anyway, it's so tight-knit. It's all about up-close fights, and that's exactly what you want in Goats.
Synergy Spin opting for a bit of the Cyber Ghost, but that means there's no Zarya for Charlie. He's going to take so much damage to get bullied very intensely here. Freedom nearly up at that EMP yet again. Watch for it over the top. There it is. Catches onto all 6. A bomb in the back line. Finds one in a mech. And that means that Spin's going to keep this on rolling.
And this lack of response from Synergy when it comes to Freedom is a big problem right now. Freedom is consistently getting high value hacks, always getting big EMPs, and that's why, like, sure, they don't have the Zarya, but they're making up for it with all this utility. So now they're armoring up. Synergy are coming into this last fight. If they want to stop this, Impact needs to get this Shatter going.
Has to get it through the lines of Spin. Charlie's shield looking a little worse for wear. Does get the nano, drops the shield, and there's the Shatter. Sound barrier to counter it out though. So no follow-up for Synergy. Pancake looking a little low. Counter or Shatter coming the other way. And Charlie not managing to find much of anything. Synergy thrown out quite a few ults. They're not getting any sort of picks. Spin need to work their way in here, but instead Freedom's gonna go down. No Sombra, and now Synergy don't have to be afraid of the back line anymore. They just push on through the front line of Spin and send them back to spawn.
They finally Synergy paying attention to Freedom there. You see Krawi, as soon as Freedom decloaks, immediately prevents the hack onto Impact, which was big because otherwise Charlie would have gotten a free Shatter earlier on in that fight. This could have gone very differently. So now, still, Spin coming in here with Freedom's EMP. Still definitely a fight-winning opportunity here. Their win condition is getting this EMP off.
Oh, there's the bomb out, and it finds Charlie. Already the main tank of Spin down means that Synergy
back cap?
Just
back cap?
hold on to this, but there is a chance for a back cap. D-Man, he does recognize that he's going over to fight it, but he's got to win the fight against the Sombra. Never mind, he's got teammates there. Freedom just leaves.
Yeah, definitely a scary position to be in, but yet the win condition is still the same. Despite the ult disadvantage, all Spin has to do is get the EMP off and silence the entirety of Synergy. And if that happens, they can't press Q. And the card is so close, so it doesn't matter. All 6!
5-man EMP, combo's still available. Goes at the sound barrier, but can't save D-Man or Pancake. Spin still working with a heavy player advantage, and it's going to become even heavier as Impact, Hockey, Craw, they all go down. It's not even going to be a very easy job for anybody to contest here for Synergy on the defense. They can't even do it. D-Man tried, gets it a little bit, but ultimately Spin's going to cap third point.
Yeah, overall, this is just a big problem with... Yeah, they started to... Synergy started to notice Freedom towards the end there, but a big problem was that ignoring him for so long made it so easy for him to charge his EMPs all this time. He had quite a handful throughout the entirety of that round, you know, getting so much damage in and getting some really key hacks in onto Synergy Esports. So now, if Spin continues to run this Sombra, it could prove problematic for Synergy. They need to start actually paying attention, sometimes doing what do you call it, spray check, where you just spy check, thank you. Mouse 1, you just try to either force decloak the Sombra or at least be ready for when she decloaks herself. Because so far, Freedom is just getting this for free.
Well, and, you know, I feel like since Spin opted to sub out the Zarya for the Sombra, right, in that Cyber Goats composition, the Charlie on the main tank is kind of just free, right? No bubble. You just push into, you WM1, you eat him alive.
True.
That to me is the win condition for Synergy if they come up against Cyber Goats again. Normally when we see this composition, we've been seeing a lot in North America Contenders Trials. Teams like Sky Fox's Underwater Squad, they love to run it, right? But they sub out the D.Va, because if the Sombra can shut that D.Va down, then you win the ground war, right? D.Va becomes an ult battery, can't save her Reinhardt. farm the enemy team there, but not what they're going to opt for, and not what they're opting for on the defense right now.
Yeah, Spin actually opting for a bit of a close hold here. A little bit of a, okay, I say questionable, but so far so good here. But still, you know, you lose that bit of high ground advantage by holding there, and there's no way an Orisa's going to be able to rotate well enough to get on top of the gas station, or get on top of Big Earls rather.
You know, I don't think you need to. You're running that quad DPS. Use the Orisa. The Orisa to me in this composition is a bait.
Wow.
You distract him with the Orisa so players like Neon can just pop off, shut down these pushes before they can even start.
And now they're in such a tough position here. Man, Synergy swapping to this dive here. They have the Genji Tracer, but it's so hard for them to get anywhere past the train cars because Neon is shutting them down.
Just poking in their spawn. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Still,
Yeah.
He's out on the fuchsia, but I mean, doesn't really matter.
Oh, hack!
Hey!
Denying that. Finally, Neon goes down. There's what's seemingly the carry, but the res comes out right next to their tank line. He does pay for that with his life here, so there's no healing for Spin on the defense now. Neon's gonna pop off!
What?
What are you doing? You crazy man! Finds 3 for free! Just shuts the push down, even though Synergy had the advantage here. They're gonna lose it just as quick.
Still spawn advantage heavily in the favor of Synergy. Though I'm not gonna lie, Neon does really feel like he has the power of 4 other players right now. But Synergy are gonna make it around this corner here.
It's quad DPS and all of them are Neon.
Yeah, so D-Man looking at Nano Impact, very likely get that Nano Monkey into the back line. No way Neon can two-shot him this time.
Oh, well, the EMP comes out, just connects on to Impact, however, so not the optimal ult there coming out from Freedom. Usually does find one, but Spin have already lost 2, one of which was Neon. There goes their hard carry. Valk up in the air from Keeper to try and sustain the players of Spin through, but it's not going to quite happen the way they want it to. Finally, Synergy are going to get some ground here.
And truly the slugfest, once Synergy got Neon out of the way, it did get a little bit easier for them. They do retain the Nano boost, so there's a good chance that they could just still use it onto Impact. As soon as we see Spin, by the way, Neon swaps to the McCree, a very diveable target, so this is something for Synergy to exploit as long as they keep moving the cart, guys. Hello?
Oh, who needs the cart when you're gonna get the kills? Oh, Hockey kind of dashed into a wall there. He's gonna find Impact down below. There are ults up above, out from Spin. Out in the back line is the barrage, but it's Fuchsia with the Tac Visor finding the kills. Does get punished by Impact here, and Hockey finding Pure. So, still a heavy advantage for Synergy here. They looked a little rough at the beginning of that fight. Not the best blade from Hockey, but Synergy win it out. They're gonna cap this first point.
Yeah, you don't need blades when you got pure raw mechanics. Haiki's still, you know, narrowly, but in his own right, getting the kills for his team and getting them through to the checkpoint. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Quite a stall from Spin, who are making some swaps at the moment. Probably going for this. Yeah, they're going for floats, was it?
Yeah, look, we can go back and forth all day about what Reddit does and doesn't want to call this composition. The point is, it was the goats with the Winston, but now it's just gonna be
no. Yeah, they see Synergy make and then the fight's already begun.
Yeah, Freedom just getting bullied by Impact, but Impact's gonna pay for his aggression over in the corner. Now there's no Reinhardt for Synergy to try and get in here. Charlie's still nice and healthy, even though he showed up late to the fight. Means that Spin gonna hold nice and strong here on point B for the moment.
Still, the swap from Synergy to, decide to go with the Ryan Goats composition was a good call. Now, they're not behind in terms of ult charge with the Earthshatter. And speaking of behind, now suddenly Spin are down a man and Synergy Esports are making the mad dash.
You were so far forward there, bud. I don't know if that was the play there. Neon goes down as well.
It wasn't.
Before the fight even starts, Spin already at a 3-player disadvantage. They just have to give all this ground for free.
Yeah, it's really bad because it charges a lot of ult charge for Synergy, who are now all of a sudden in a really great spot here ult-wise. Spin, if you want to make it out of the point, they really need to deny this grab because there's a good chance that Haiki are going to try to just use it to keep them on the high ground here.
Shadow comes out from Impact, goes straight into Charlie's shield. There's that grab up onto the high ground. A bomb up in the air. The pin comes down. The bomb finds 3. Beautiful combo. from Synergy Esports there to keep this on moving.
A little bit of actually, I want to say a little bit of an overcommitment, but still managing to get a decent time bank is definitely a reward in its own right. Now they're just under 3 minutes to get through that last point. They still have some pretty good ults here. It really is going to be all about the Earth Shatter if you're Spin, because, you know, Charlie made the swap onto the Rhine, finally has the Shatter. This is kind of going to be it here. They need to stop the cart from moving for Synergy. Otherwise, if they lose this fight, it's going to be extremely difficult moving forward.
And Spin opting to go with the Sombra Goats yet again, but this time they sub out the Brig. Well,
Hello?
Synergy's still got a Brig. They've got a rally. They're going to push on forward. Charlie getting bullied. A grab to stop the aggression. A bomb to combo with it out from Pure, but it can't manage to find anything. The card's still moving here for Synergy. The Shatter comes down from Charlie, though. Pancake goes down, and now off the back of that, Charlie? Well, Charlie, you got to stay alive. Okay, manages to find impact. So off the back of that, Spin's going to hold.
And a really big Shatter here coming in from Charlie. It did end up saving the team and the push them. Now all of a sudden, Finn are in a pretty good spot to start holding. Synergy Esport coming back from the spawn, having their Zarya energy recharged, are gonna have to take this fresh new fight. They still though, they're about to come up to 2 really big tank ultimates here and already have the bomb. So this is gonna be really tough here for Spin to get through.
But Neon.
Yeah, but
He got that EMP. So easy to find so many members of Synergy in these enclosed spaces. Looks like Synergy might be aware of it. They're playing a little bit spread out, but then they group up. Oh, they find the 6-man EMP. Neon over the top of the translocator. Old school on that move there. Gonna mean that Spin gonna hold this easy.
It's so, like you were saying, it's so easy to get these big man EMPs when you're in such a narrow corridor like the third part of Route 66 here. So now, all of a sudden, down to 1 minute. Spinner holding really well thus far. We see Synergy going for a bit of they're resetting the mech from Crowley. I'm sorry, for a second I was...
Yeah.
That's actually even worse, the fact that he was D-mech, so even more time is wasted waiting for the respawn. Neon taking this high ground position here, trying to get a key hack, probably onto Impact here, preventing him from using his Shatter and blocking the Shatter that Charlie's about to have.
Oh yeah, he's up there. He does get spotted though. He gets zoned out a bit here. Does manage to translate it away. Buy some time. That was an interesting shadow there, bud. Ult's going off left and right. Pure finds the self-destruct kills. 10 seconds remaining for Synergy to try and get back in here. I don't even think anyone's going to be able to touch.
Nope, probably not. We're down to 5 seconds. No one really coming out of the spawn here. Last second Shatter just for good measure. And there it is. The map is done. Spin win.
Spin win.
That's
Hashtag
right.
spin win in the chat, everybody.
Oh my god, please.
But no, I really think that Synergy just completely unprepared for exactly that. Neon Sombra.
Or just Sombra in general. It seems like Synergy really aren't... Oh, it seems like Synergy are just having trouble dealing with the Sombra comp in general because, like you say, they never, like you said, also, they never really swapped the D.Va out. It was Zarya, in which case, you know, you're free to rush the Rhine or the Brig, in which case, you're free to rush the Rhine. You know what I'm saying?
Just bully Charlie. He has nothing to keep him alive, but talk about everything that's keeping us alive, which is this match of Overwatch, because Overwatch is so fun.
Right?
HX9, what'd you think about Route 66, bud?
HX9,
what'd you think about Route 66, bud?
I think I should unmute my mic.
There he is. There he is.
Look,
Mute button gets us all one day.
We're starting to see. I'm wondering, you know, as this tournament has progressed, Goats has slowly been fading away. We're starting to see the other comps. How much of it is hiding strats? I don't think so much right now because, again, we're kind of hit. Yeah, we're not at the. None of these teams are in trials, and
Open Division is 2 months out, probably.
Yeah. So, and there's a patch on the horizon. So, this is actually your opportunity, even though it's a tournament. Even though I think you should take it seriously, you should try to win this because you're going to get, you know. These teams are going to get, both these teams are going to go to the finals too, you know, which are again in 2 weeks. Or 2 weeks, I think? Yeah.
Yep.
February.
One more qualifier next week.
So since, you know, you're going to do that, I think it's just a good time to practice, you know? You might as well throw some weird comps out there, get some better practice on heroes. We saw the Ashe in the last game, you know, in the last series, not the last game. We see the McCree Soldier comp, you know? So I think both these teams are playing this outstandingly. I'm not going to fault either team for, you know, I'm not going to fault the the losing side on this one if they're really just working on just getting better.
Wow, Bob being optimistic and kind. That is a first here in the AG Weekly, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know. It's not my usual fare, but I think, you know,
His heart grew 3 sizes that day.
yeah, it's as soon as midnight ticks, you know, the Grinch Bob goes away and we start getting Santa Bob, and Santa Bob is on. Wait, no, it's Cupid Bob. We got Valentine's Day coming out.
Oh yeah.
You mean Overwatch League Day 1?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, who's gonna be watching that? I'm gonna be out with the ladies, folks. You know.
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna be at home.
I got a hot date. It's Overwatch League.
Speaking
anyway,
of OW,
you got a hot date with Nepal right now too.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Let's reel it in. Speaking of reeling things in, both teams running that Orisa, but only Spin on that Roadhog right now. Down onto the point. Spin have the advantage. Ooh, they get the hook on a Craw. Immediately DMX gives Spin all of the room. Gonna be so difficult for Synergy to get in. He managed to get the res here onto Craw, but Freedom meanwhile over on the side, picking them apart. The the Dynamite rather finds so much value, and Spin are gonna get this first cap.
When you're running that D.Va instead of the Hog with the Orisa, like on the point like this, or just in general, your positioning really does matter, especially when you're running against an enemy Roadhog here, like they're running against Spin. And it's so easy for you to get displaced, and if you're hooked, you can't use DM. So, big anti-air coming out. It looks like Synergy are going into this next fight with the Dragon Strike already.
And it comes out first and foremost onto the point. Can't manage to find anything though. And Impact Pancake, they're both down. Neon doesn't get taken down himself here, but there's just not any room for Synergy to get in with Impact and that shield not being there.
It is difficult, even in comps like this. Sure, you have some DPS who can have some swing potential, but it is difficult if, you know, your snipers have no shield while their snipers do. It's a little bit unfair if you think about it. But yeah, so now
1 shield greater than 0 shields. Even more better maths here.
Oh, but Pancake doesn't care.
Yeah, no, speaking of maths, he's gonna make this a 6v5 in favor of Synergy. Finds a nice pick onto Freedom as he was ever so close to that bomb. Now the Supercharger down on the point, but Charlie goes down. Young finds one onto Pancake here, but no side right now, managing to find much of anything. Neon in the back, just trying to fight for his life. Throws out the Dragon Strike. Can't manage to find anything though. Combo gets the res all the meanwhile. Now back into the point. Oh, D-Man gets hooked into the pit. Good hook from Pure there to deny that Transcendence, and because of that, Spin gonna find these kills, and they're gonna hold.
What an incredible hold here from Spin, managing to just like, despite losing their main tank through using that 7th manpower you get from Plop, and just really good ult users to begin with. They're gonna be probably winning this point here because they're keeping Synergy at bay with only 3 seconds left.
Yeah, 2 seconds, 1 second. The overtime is triggered by Combo with the Valkyrie. He's trying to keep Craw alive down on the point, but can't manage to do so. Craw goes into the pit. No! Keeper with the nice boop there means that even though the self-destruct came out, no remake is available. Spin are cleaning up here. It's just a Genji. Now Bioed on the point against the world. Combo trying to keep this going. Pancake dancing around on the side, but Tracer gonna get found out. Spin take round 1.
Yeah, Pure on this Roadhog is going bananas right now. It really, like, Synergy really wanted it to in some way be dealing with him because it seems like he didn't die very much and for the most part was just free to go fly fishing.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, not going to be able to do that so much as we head over to Village, thankfully for Synergy, but not so thankfully for Synergy. Got to remember, folks, this is a best of 3. First 2 map wins here. If Spin win Village, they win the series. They win the AG Weekly.
That's right, and they qualified for the Invitational at the end of the month. They've already qualified for that's right, top 2 teams. But higher seed matters too. Either way,
certainly does.
Yes, we're going to see Neon on the Mei for Spin here. dive, or basically a dive comp here from Synergy Esports. So really, if you're Synergy, you gotta avoid the Mei wall as best as you can. They have a lot of mobility, so it is possible for them to do so.
Yeah, they gotta just pick apart Spin.
Oh.
Hockey manages to do that pretty well. Fusha already down. So much healing gone for Spin now. Makes it much easier for Pancake and Heike to try and find these picks. Heike just bullying them, throwing those rockets in. But Spin with the first cap mid-fight here. Fusha's on his way back as well. And Freedom's managed to find Hockey. That's so much damage gone for Synergy. And now they're just getting picked apart. Prague goes down. This comes out onto Hockey here. But all the while, the progress is just building for Spin on this point, and it doesn't seem that Synergy are really finding a way in here.
You know, props to Spin, playing this comp essentially as best as you possibly can, getting onto the point as quickly as you can and bunkering down, making it hard for the enemy to get in there. Yeah, we see Impact popping this Primal. Definitely, what's the word? Questionable. Yes.
Is he swapping?
I really hope so. He's
Nope.
not swapping Pulsable.
Not
He's
swapping.
still on the Winston. That is not a win condition. I can tell you that with the utmost certainty. So Spin, on the other hand, have a lot of ults here. 50% and climbing to Synergy's, very little.
They're gonna have the full 6-stack on the defense here. So many opportunities. Not gonna have the opportunity for a Nano though. Pancake yet again finding that opening pick on Fusha. Now everything's coming down on the point. Bob's out. Grab, Snowstorm, everything's out. Bob gets frozen on the point, pinned off to the side. Gets bullied here by Charlie. Not having anything from the Omnic Butler there. Spin can hold on to this for the moment. And it seems that Synergy are just gonna have to wait this one out for a second. Oh!
But they
Charlie
aren't-
doesn't let him. No, Charlie doesn't let him at all. Oh, but Res coming up from combo, covered by the Transcendence. I don't know if that was necessarily the play here. You're fighting this out so long. Meanwhile, Impact's down over on the side. You throw in a self-destruct, but what does it find? Absolutely nothing other than a remake. Pancake, Hockey, they're trying to find these kills, but it's just not enough. 98%, it's overtime, and it's only a Diva to contest. Now the squishies of Synergy have to throw themselves onto the point, and they can't do it. Spin are the winners of your AG February Invitational Qualifier number 2.
Yeah, congrats to Spin here. It seems like this just too much for Synergy Esports to really deal with that Mei comp we saw from Spin. For the most part, they were getting a lot of value out of the Pharah, which is great because you want that long-range damage, especially from a comp that wants to, wall you up and get real up close and personal. But, they didn't really take advantage of their numbers and kind of seemed split on a lot of fights where they should have won. In the sense that, you have, okay, cool, we got a pick. Let's, can we dive at the same person now? No? Oh, all right. Understandable.
Well, Synergy may have been split, but we will not be. We're going to finish this as one whole with one last desk segment with our lovely host, HX9, coming back in here.
Lovely host. That's all I got. That was quick. Yeah, I really made it awkward there for a little bit. So
expert analysis.
Yeah, expert analysis. Just like the pro Apex Legends gamers, right?
Hey, yeah.
It's been 3 days, you're a pro. As long as you're invited to the tournament, you're a pro, right?
That's right.
Yeah, pretty much right.
It happened with Hearthstone, though, in the beta, believe it or not, too. I have a little bit of bitterness towards that as well, and a little bit of bitterness, but not for myself, because I'm not the best Apex Legends player, but for a lot of people who are not going to get the opportunity to, just become anything good in the community without a big struggle. But that's a completely different topic than Spin. And Spin,
interesting take on this last match here.
Yeah. So I got a lot going on in my mind on that one, believe me. And Overwatch Path to Pro, it's in there too. These folks here, though, on Spin, they've got a good quality team there. We went from a couple 2-1 series, right, to this 2-0 series. And they just seem to have mastered Nepal, especially Village. I was really looking at their positioning on that one, especially in regards to being on the point, off the point. And with these weird compositions that aren't GOATs, you start to see a little bit of difference there in where people have to kind of position themselves. It's not just the cram everybody on the point kind of deal. But what was your favorite composition you saw, guys?
I like goats. I think it's fun.
Thank you, Possible. It's just about as awkward as my lovely casting bit. Not nearly as awkward. Sorry.
No, I like the double sniper on Nepal. I think that's still the strongest comp. I think even in the GOATS meta, it was the strongest comp, right? Because the angles are just so pertinent there, right? You find the right angle. Doesn't matter if your entire team is rotating one way. If they have snipers everywhere else, then what are you even gonna do?
I like the way you said that. And yeah, I gotta agree. I gotta give it to. I kind of like quad DPS comps in general. Like I enjoy watching them. I'm sure if that becomes meta and that's all we see for the next 6 months, it will become stale. But for the moment, I like it. Let it be known.
Okay. That's what my ears are ringing with what people said about GOATS at first. Just kidding. Nobody ever liked GOATS, but
Really? I don't know, man. Like, I'm pretty sure there were some people who kind of like, oh, this is pretty cool. I know I did.
I mean, I don't even hate GOATS now, but I'm in the minority on that one.
How I feel about GOATS is very complicated.
Fair. I feel like that's fair.
Thank you.
Fair. All right. Fair. Great. You know
What
what else is fair aside from me, the lovely caster? Exactly. You're the anchor caster, and
No, you're not fair. You're lovely.
I'm the
You get to
lovely
pick
caster.
one.
Well, fair is the same as lovely. You know.
Nope.
In a way.
A fair maiden. A lovely-
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
They're synonym.
Disagree.
Different kind of fair than you were thinking, huh? But anyway, this is the end, of course, of our lovely and fair.
Yeah, please let us
AG
stop.
Weekly
Just
cast.
please stop us from talking anymore.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed what you saw, follow the channel. Of course, follow at HXZ9 on Twitter. I rarely tweet out the stream because I'm lazy, but you can follow these guys if you want to get the real tweets out on the streams.
Follow
And, of course,
Academy. Follow Academy Gaming. They tweeted out.
Yeah, follow Academy Gaming. They're tweeting that out, and of course, I mentioned Apex Legends a couple times because we'd really like to start streaming that at some point too, as part of the AG Weekly business too. We'd like to get that on the roster. Also, follow at Possible Media here. See what he's up to right now. He's got this cool team that you saw a little bit of today.
Yeah. See
So
you next week.
yeah, what else you got going on this week anyway? Because we don't got anything else going on in the channel until next month.
I'm pretty. Yeah, no. It's off season for the tier 3 casters right now, right? Open division's out, contenders out. It's just trials right now. So go spend your weekend, watch some Overwatch League, guys.
Yeah.
We've waited a long and painful off season for this.
Yeah,
Christ.
and Natty 1337. That's Beatdown
me.
Boulevard. He's
That's
got. You got anything? You're gonna be watching Overwatch League too, right?
Yeah, that's just the remainder of my week. That and Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I got nothing else to share.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off the stream with a super controversial thing. Let's see
Oh,
who
God.
wins
Oh, no.
in this week.
Abort.
You ready?
Chip,
We're going to see
now.
who wins.
Now.
Overwatch League or Apex Legends. Which one's going to win in the Twitch Wars when this first week here? I don't think it's an accident that this came out when it did, guys.
That I like your insinuation, but I still think Overwatch League's gonna win. Just by virtue of that. We're all so thirsty from this fucking offseason.
Honestly.
Possible. What do you think?
No. I think it'll be close, but I think Overwatch League. They were raking in 200,000 views last time every match, right? So I don't think it's a stretch to say opening weekend we're gonna get up to like 400,000 for second season.
Oh, 400,000. Oh man, that's
pretty
a tall
bold.
order there. Only Drake can beat that one, right?
Look,
Yeah.
I know friends who barely watch Overwatch. They're gonna tune into Overwatch League this Thursday for opening day, right?
Hell yeah.
So, you know what? I'm excited.
Possible and his 400,000 friends are gonna watch Overwatch League.
Yes, all 400,000 in my room.
That's
Oh,
right.
man.
I have a
What
big
you gotta
house.
do? You gotta get your universal remote app for your cell phone, and then just go mess with the TVs at some.
Okay, this is nonsense. Chip,
Yep.
just cut us off. Goodbye.
Please don't do
everyone.
it.
Thank you for
Goodbye,
watching.
everyone.
Goodbye.